Body indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. This is the lovely Bradley Betts. Brad, how we doing, buddy?
Doing great, AB. Happy hump day to everybody out there. Got a loaded soccer slate of all games throughout the world. New leagues coming back still in the first couple weeks. Then we got some leagues that will be finishing off here over the next month and a half. Great day for footy fans.
Great day indeed, man. Great day indeed. Now, a couple of things. All right, so yesterday, not a great day on the morning show. Let me show you this. Go 0 for 4. Let me just tell you, thank God for college baseball last night. All right, it saved my ass. Look, dude, baseball was weird. We had games they couldn't score a run. All right, Luka, dude, 8-3 attempts. He hits 2 of them. Those 2, I believe, came in the first quarter. All right, and then Giannis, we took a shot there with the threes. Like, we knew what that was. Man, but you take a look here, all right, and number one, credit the Lakers, like, playing defense. You know what I mean? Like, even Luka going, 2 for 8 from 3, and I'll pull this back down. Go with, or put it full screen. Even him going 2 for 8, I mean, they get the job done. We're seeing unders in the NBA. Now, we had, 2 higher scoring games last night, but again, man, we'll see tonight. We got 3 NBA games, and man, we're just hitting spurts. It seems to happen in the third quarter, and we'll talk more about it. But it seems to happen in the third quarter to where you'll see. It's almost like the NCAA tournament. Like, you'll see games just come to a halt. You know what I mean? It was. It makes sense in the playoffs. Now, I say all that to say this. All right, anybody who was in the Crew Exclusive live last night. All right, first off, obviously, so good to see you. Second off, okay, this was a members-only video, Brad, okay? Members only. It's not monetized, anything that is, behind the membership wall, right? Like, I don't put any, advertisements, and, not that, that I do it. I mean, it's YouTube, but I make sure that they don't, right? Like, you've already paid your membership. Why the hell you going to, go through anything else? I want you to see this. I get this message from YouTube and the NHL this morning, and they were not pleased last night with the show. Yeah, here you go. Yep. They hit me with a copyright, all right, because I had the NHL game on the TV behind me. Yeah, I'll pull that back up so you can see. Yeah, they were not happy with that whatsoever. So appreciate that. NHL. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun dealing with that this morning before the show. You ever get hit? Does the NHL ever give you a call early in the morning before a game? No, they haven't given you a shout?
Not for me. Heck no. I'm not talking about anything NHL. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see if Brian Windhorst in Sports Center is going to get after us this morning. All right. It's going to be a good day. Anytime that you can get reprimanded by the league at 8:27 in the morning, always great, my friend. Always a fantastic way to start the show. But we're going to start it with some damn good picks. How's that sound? That sound good to you? Sounds good to me, too. So before that, our man, Big Howie Schwab, we've got to get this one in first. All right, so you got 3 NBA games tonight. All right, let's take a look at 2 of them. Magic plus 10.5, Celtics minus 10.5. Or you're going to go with the Warriors plus 3.5 or the Rockets minus 3.5. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show. Any thoughts on that? You ready for the NBA tonight? You seem fired up.
Absolutely. I'm going to go against the grain a little bit. I know they're favored, but I'm going to take the Rockets minus 3.5. Why are they favored? I think maybe that could be the reason.
Yeah. They got to get a win. I mean, Golden State took game 1 on the road, right? Like, they cannot leave down 0-2. Not going to be good. So everybody, vote in the poll. Feel free to drop your picks in the chat, and we'll get after it. All right, so picks for today. And again, we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern, normal time as we always are, for our final bets for tonight. So this is just a nice little, appetizer to get us started. All right, let it rip, brother. What you got?
We're headed to this midday matchup, 12 p.m. Central Time in the Spain's La Liga, in a matchup between Celta Vigo and Villarreal. We're taking that over 2.75 at -125. We've got Celta Vigo trending at 90%, scoring 40 of their last 44, but specifically when they're at home, 18 of their last 20. So both of those figures scoring above 90%. They're also conceding as well, 34 of 39 league matches. That is 87%. They're hitting both teams to score in 72% of their last 39 league matches. That's pretty solid. And when Celta Vigo hit both teams to score in 90% of their last 40 matches, they have actually gone to that over 2.5 goals. So they hit both teams to score. They tend to hit that over. Same thing on that away end. Villarreal scored in 41 of 46. That's 89%. Both teams scoring 90% trending, conceding 31 of 35. That's 89%. So both of those teams conceding in those high 80s. You really like to see the scoring and conceding in those departments. And also, Villarreal, just like Celta Vigo, when they hit that both teams to score, they tend to hit that over 2.5. 82% of their last 38 matches have done that. So both teams hitting both teams to score, trending that over 2.5 market. And when they play one another, even better. 5 straight matches and 11 of the last 14 have hit both teams to score. 4 straight matchups and 10 of the last 14 have hit over 2.5. In fact, the last 4 straight matchups have featured one team hitting 3 goals alone, and over 3.5 has come in 4 straight. In fact, over 4.5 has come in 3 straight matches. So what we like today is we're going to be betting on goals in that 12 p.m. Central Time matchup in Spain, Spanish La Liga, between Celta Vigo, Villarreal, at that over 2.75 Asian total at -125.
Beautiful work, my boy. That is beautiful work indeed. Now, look, the NHL's got me flustered here. All right, Scott said it best, okay? AB, is that supposed to be rebounds and not points on Butler? Yes, it absolutely is. I wish it were points and assists. That would be nice. So let me adjust that, and I'll edit it in 1 second. But yes, all right, that is Jimmy Butler over 12.5 rebounds and assists, not points. Jimmy Butler over 12.5 rebounds and assists. I'll edit that. Give me just 1 second. But I'm also going to go Jaylen Brown here. Yeah, Aubrey, right there. Jaylen Brown over 1.5 threes at -120. If you look at the props for the Magic and the Celtics game, you will see a big name not mentioned right now. That's Jason Tatum. So we don't know the status of what he's going to be, but obviously still dealing with that injury from game 1. I'm going to roll with Jaylen Brown because whether or not Tatum plays, doesn't play, he's clearly not going to be at 100%. So the Celtics are going to need other dudes to step up. And Jaylen Brown, I mean, I would take this even if Tatum were playing. You know what I mean? And the fact that he might not, or, yeah, I mean, you know, deal with what the injury is, right? Yeah, and Scott said it. Yeah, he's doubtful, probably out, likely so, especially them getting a win in game 1. Yeah. Absolutely rolling with it. So, Jaylen Brown, again, Jimmy Butler, I'll edit that, over 12.5 rebounds and assists. Look, we've been riding this, and it's been working out. And I mean, it's tight. It's not like, you know, Jimmy's flying by it, right? Like, I think in game 1, we had over 11.5. I think he ended up with 13 total. It's not a bad idea if you want to split these up and you want to roll Butler, you know, say over 6.5 rebounds, and, you know, 6.5 assists, like not together, like, you know, separate singular bets. I don't hate it because, again, it's one of those to where, and I don't know if this applies in soccer, you know, player wise, probably not, just because, you know, statistics are different. You know what I mean? Like you just don't have the quantity, you know, that really not many sports at all have the quantity, you know, that the NBA is going to have. Right. But, you know, when you hit a combo, you can find your way to where you can overload on one and not the other, and it can hurt you, right? So if anybody plays this, you know, rebounds singular, assists singular, I don't hate it, and it could be a good look there. Day baseball, man. We're gonna go, Brett. We're gonna drive 4 hours south. All right, look. As soon as the show ends, I'm just gonna roll right over to your house, scoop you up. All right, we're gonna drive down to Atlanta. Braves team total over 4.5 -125. We talked about it yesterday with the weather, in that the one place where we could see runs would be in Atlanta because you had humidity and a rain shelf clouds really that were just sitting and hovering right over. And the humidity, right, it builds and it builds and it builds. And once the storm drops, it dissipates, a lot of that humidity. But until it does, it is just sitting like an oven, right? I mean, that's Nashville weather, like to a T, right? Atlanta has the same weather pattern, right? So I think we're going to see runs here again today. It's not going to be the same. The weather is not, it's not bad by any means. But yeah, we don't have that. But again, the Braves team total over 4.5. I think we can get there. Marcell Ozuna, anybody playing him for a walk? Smart play. I think it's a smart play there. Then finally, Brewers and Giants over 6.5. Freddie Peralta's on the mound. It's going to be a hell of a pitching matchup here. That said, over 6.5. We've got weather in our favor. Yeah, I'm absolutely on top of that. Brewers, Giants over 6.5. We could get there. I think so, Brad. How do we feel about all that?
I love it. I mean, it's Atlanta. They love to hit the ball. At least they have historically. Let's go get some runs.
Let's get some runs indeed. And look, Andrew said it right here on Marcell Ozuna. He got 4 walks yesterday. 4. Like, dude, they're walking him like crazy, man. Like, this dude is just collecting him.
That's Barry Bonds status right there.
I know, right? Brian Clancy said, got to get back to work. Hope everyone has a great day. Brian, hope you have a great day, buddy. And, man, it's so good to see you. Yeah, and if you join us 3 p.m. Eastern, man, would love to see you there. Hey, bring everybody from work. Bring them all in, man. We'll sit there and chop it up. So, yeah. All right, a couple picks here in the chat. Yes, runs first inning for both games, Detroit and the Braves. I'm with you there. Big Seth. Hey, on the road this morning, so I got a chance to jump on. Dude, Seth, miss you, buddy. I was just about to text you, man, see if everything's going all right. Happy to be here. Let's get this money today, man. Let's get it indeed. Aaron Judge, 2+ bases, -115. Seems like a steal. Dude is on an absolute tear. I think he had 4 hits yesterday. Dude, awesome. Scott, what up, bro? Good to see you. Brad's bet immediately. Hey, you getting some love already, my boy. Already getting it. And yeah, DraftKings has Butler at 11.5. Oh, look, I got it at DraftKings, and an hour ago it was 12.5, right? So, yeah, there you go. Maybe that error on the screen that helped us out. So, all right. Let's see what we got. Millsy said, got the Cubs and Dodgers to both score 3+ runs at -1. I love it. I mean, 2 teams can hit, and whether it's weather helping, not helping, like these 2 teams can go. Yeah, I like that, man. -125. That's a good price. Bill said misprint. It was a misprint. Also, me, an idiot. So we got 2 out of 2 working for us there. Let's see. Scott said, hold on. Sandy Alcantara under 4.5K is a good bet. Yeah. There you go, man. There you go. All right. So, Brad, let's start off with some soccer, man. Then we'll jump into the NBA. We'll jump into Major League Baseball. But I see Iceland up there on the board behind you. What do we need to know today, tomorrow, the week? Like, what do we got in the world of soccer, man? How do we need to know?
Well, honestly, AB, it's pretty tough to get past today. What a loaded slate. We have matches in everywhere, literally. Sweden, Iceland, Hungary, Norway, Italy, Spain, India. I mean, literally, you name it, we have matches today. But a lot of those leagues are just coming back. So we highlighted this league specifically, Iceland, last week. I told you it is a top scorer. But at the beginning of the season, there tends to be a little rust. There's a little rust all over the world of football in the first couple of weeks. It's just how it is. You have to get your legs underneath you. So let's kind of take a look at, we highlighted last week, both teams to score 50%. That's not really that great. Over 2.5, 2 and 4. That's horrible given the numbers. And then 1 and 5 to that over 3.5. Not great. However, we take a look at week 2. What happened? Same with that both teams to score. And then that over 2.5 kicked up, like we mentioned, as well as that over 3.5. So these teams, what they're doing is they tend to just start to get their legs underneath them. So they're passing to one another, creating those patterns, overloading, getting familiar with one another. In this new league, you'll have new players, new coaching, new systems. You might not see it on the surface, but you will see it reflected in the play. And this is what's happening in Iceland right now through 2 weeks, just started to kick up. We're going to see what happens in week 3. We'll be back to highlight it again. We need to know how all these leagues are scoring throughout the world, because you need to know, hey, am I taking both teams to score? Am I taking over 2.5? Just like we did today in that Spanish matchup. Both teams to score was the trending figure, absolutely. But also trending is that over 2.5 when the both teams to score hits. So you need to know, how are those correlated? And as you can see here in Iceland, those both teams to score and over 2.5 are quite correlated, 5-1 to start the season. So if you are taking goals in Iceland today or in the next week or so, you tend to look to that over, not both teams to score. And then, you know what, AB, we got a great matchup in the English Premier League today. I would recommend staying away from it. You got a top side playing a side who doesn't care. That top side has Champions League focus next week, and that's what I want to mention. We saw Paris Saint-Germain yesterday tie knots 1-1 in the league. Not a great result. Why? They have another match coming up against Nice this weekend, and then they jump into the UCL next week against the Gooners, my Arsenal. So there are teams who are still playing in these cup matches, which will be happening this weekend. You'll have these UCL and European matches, Europa matches that will be happening next week as well. So stay away from some of those teams, as there could be some rotation or just some mental lackadaisical behavior within their play styles, not trying to get injured, making sure that they're going to be in that lineup for such an important match. That's what we're going to have here the next couple days before league ball kicks up. This weekend, we'll have more picks, but throughout the week and midweek, as we mentioned yesterday, and as you saw on the slate yesterday, scoring can sometimes be fickle. We don't necessarily know what to expect in midweek fixtures. It is interrupting that routine. Players need routine in order to have that familiarity. Barcelona 1-0 against Mallorca with a 3.78 EXG. That is exactly the type of scenario I talk about midweek, and to be careful when you're placing those bets. So we got one today, a great look in Spain, and we're going to be back for a few more looks for the weekend.
All right, so you went legend there. Okay, jump it back. What type of behavior were we just talking about?
I mean, any kind of behavior. I mean, what we're looking for in with the English Premier League today, lackadaisical behavior.
That's what it was. Yes.
It's when you saw the Premier League yesterday, even the match that we were on between Aston Villa and Manchester City, both teams' score came in 18 minutes. That's great. So they both tried to get that second goal before halftime. But if they didn't get that second goal, they come out in the second half and there's a whole new game plan, right? You don't want to expose yourself. Manchester City a little higher in the table than Aston Villa. Both teams fighting for that top four. There's just so much going on in these leagues coming down the stretch that it's not surface level betting. There's a lot of undertones to it. And with each score, it changes. So try to find matches that don't necessarily are reflected by one goal and change everything that happens with one goal. Look for those teams with either nothing to play for at all or everything to play for, but with one team needing to push, because you can't have two teams sitting on the field not pushing. If you get that, you're going to get a stalemate.
I love it, dude. I swear to God, I don't know if anybody on planet Earth knows more about soccer than you do, man. Real quick, Spell Dog asked, would you take Celta Vigo over Real? Both teams scored over 2.5 goals, minus 125.
I mean, it's a strong play, right? Those are correlated figures. But as I mentioned a number of times, the correlated figure between both teams to score and over 2.5 pushes that over 2.5 to be that better play. Both teams are trending at almost 90% in that factor. So if you want to take both teams to score and over 2.5, you're just kind of really testing your fate. And at minus 125 for both teams to score and over 2.5, the over 2.75 at minus 125, it really gives you a lot of leeway. And as I also mentioned in that recap, in 4 straight matches, one team scored 3+ alone in this matchup. So with that 2.75, that gives us a little bit of safety in case one team wants to come out and absolutely shell that other team.
Well done. Well answered. Look, if we get a little insurance behavior on that one, I like it. Now, my man Big Bill said, look, he said, not an idiot, a human. All right, we'll take that. Love the show. Bill, hey, appreciate you, brother. And yeah, I mean, all jokes, man, for sure. And look, I think that I've got it. All right. See if we get it. Look at that right there. Over 12.5 rebounds and assists. And I'll even keep myself at 12.5, even though DraftKings dropped it to 11.5. So if you can get 11.5, do it. But you know what? We're just happy that we got the edit in on time. That's how we feel about that one. All right. Let's jump into the NBA here. Okay. So we've got 3 games. Take a look here. All right. Celtics lead the series 1-0. They are 10.5-point favorites against the Magic. You see it. Look at that total, 197.5. All right. And these times are central, by the way. So that one tips 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central. We got the Heat and the Cavs. Cavs 12.5-point favorites. Total of 212.5. And then finally tonight, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Warriors and the Rockets. Warriors 3.5-point underdogs. Rockets 3.5-point favorites. A total of 204.5. They have dropped. Absolutely dropped. So just looking at this, Brad. All right. You mentioned it there earlier on the Howie Schwab crew play of the day. What do you like here the most?
I really want to play one of these unders, but wow, have they shot down quite dramatically?
Yep.
The information that I kind of came across was the more somebody plays the Warriors and sees their offensive sets, the more that they get comfortable with how they rotate off of that pick and roll and how Curry spots up, looks for the open ball. So that's another reason why I took the Rockets tonight. I think they're going to bounce back. Maybe we get a little bit of complacency from that Warrior team. And also, the Warriors aren't necessarily a big scoring team. Yeah, you have the Curry man, of course, but a lot of those guys around Steph Curry aren't shooters. They're just role players, like your Gary Payton Jr. type of guys who are going to play great defense, which should also help you shoot that under. But I think tonight, I think it's the Rockets night.
Yeah, look, not a bad bet. I mean, look, we said last night the Lakers game, I mean, it was a must-win for Los Angeles. And not that this is a must-win for Houston, but it kind of like you don't want to go on the road down 0-2. Like that ain't good for you at all. Now, let's take a look here at some player point props for each game. So first one here, we got the Magic and the Celtics. So we just play a little game here, my man, and take a look at where we would go in terms of points. I think Paolo Banchero, 26.5. Not bad. Again, man, the Celtics could play great defense. Going up against a Celtics team, you don't want to have high numbers that you got to get there. But I mean, Paolo doesn't go off. I don't know what they're gonna do. Look at the Celtics side, man. Derek White again. We don't know the status of Jason Tatum, but we could kind of assume, even if he plays, he's not 100%. Man, I tell you what, I might go Kristaps Porzingis over 18.5 points, man. What do you think here?
I think I'm going to go, if Tatum's out, like this is a speculation. So if Tatum's out, I'm going to go J. Rue, baby. Drew Holiday. He's going to get more minutes. He's got to show up. He likes to drive to the basket, and he likes to get fouled. And I think Jaylen Brown can be a little bit more complacent. Yeah, I think he gets his numbers, but giving us just 10.5 points, I think we have a great chance to just kind of limp over that line instead of have to shoot it over for Jaylen. So give me J. Rue, 10.5.
I like it. Look, Curtis agrees with you, man. He's also going J. Rue over 1.5 threes made. Plus 110. Not a bad look at all, man. Not a bad look at all. Jump to the next game here. So Heat and the Cavs. Same deal. These are point props. Look, man, Donovan Mitchell over 26.5 is not bad at all. Like, I mean, I know that it's a lot of points, but dude, the Cavs are about their business, man. This one's tough. You know what? I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to overthink it, man. I'm going to go Mitchell over 26.5. What do you like?
I'm also going to go Mitchell, but I'm going to go Davion Mitchell over 11.5 points. I see him getting tons more minutes, especially from the bench. And sometimes when the Heat play those bench guys, they'll put him in a little longer if they're hot. And at 11.5 points, he played, I think it was like 39 minutes. I looked at the box score. So I'm going to take Davion Mitchell, 11.5 points.
That was nicely played right there. Well done. And then finally, last game, Warriors and the Rockets here. Points, you see Steph Curry at 26.5, Butler at 22.5. Excuse me. You know where I'm going here? Going Draymond Green. Going Draymond Green over 7.5. A little juicy at minus 135. But yeah, I'm going big Dre. What do you like?
Man, I'm going to go with the guy who sounds like he might be a dish at an Asian restaurant. Alfred Şengün. Give me Şengün. He's been playing good.
That was so good. That was so good. Oh my God. I like it. It's a good bet. And now I'm hungry. Dude, look at the, hey, big cheesy All right. First going big Fred Van Fleet. Number 2, my guy. I'm doing good. I'm doing way better now. It's so good to see you, buddy. I was just thinking about you, man, the other day. I was going to shoot you a message, man, see how you doing. Buddy, miss you indeed, big dog. Good to see you, Cheesy. Damn, man. So good to see you, buddy. Absolutely love it, man. Boogie said, yeah, Mitchell should be started, but then it makes their bench depth look weak. It's fascinating, right? Like, you're spot on with it. I feel you. It would be tough to be a coach. I know that, like, NBA coaches, they not all of them, but, like, the NBA is such a players league, right? And these dudes are, I mean, they're just freaks. Like, when you're that athletic and that big, like, I'll say this. You know what's funny? And it brings me off topic, but if anybody's ever been around, you're former professional soccer player yourself, right? Soccer players, athletic dudes in unbelievable shape. Normally, normal human beings, it's not a sport where you want to be Aaron Judge, 6'11", like you want to be, athletic, nimble, right? You see NFL players. Now, I mean, look, man, I worked in the NFL for a minute, been around all of them. They're big dudes, but, quarterbacks, linemen, yeah, linebackers. But, I mean, you'll see some dudes, you know what I mean? You're like, well, that's 6'1" wide receiver. Like, all right, like, you know what I mean? But NBA, if you were sitting in a Wendy's, all right, and the Lakers walked in, you just look and you're like, number one, where did these dudes, what planet did they come from? And how did you find 12 of them? You know what I mean? Like, it's nuts because they've got the soccer bodies because you're running constantly. Your cardio game has to be unreal. But then you're all, like Kobe Bryant at 6'6" would be like kind of considered small. You know what I mean? Which is insane. Like, dude. So anyways, I don't know how I got off topic on that one, but yeah, like it's wild. And then you look at like bench players in the NBA that would come into any town, any city in America and just tune everybody up. I used to play pickup ball with one or two dudes that were on the And One tour. Like, and I'm talking about the And One. I bet there's half the audience now is like, what the hell is the And One tour, right? So a dude, we used to run up in Murfreesboro. What was it? Helicopter? Was that one? It was one of them. And this dude was piping on everybody at every moment. And like, I can play ball a little bit. Like, I'm not a big dude, but like I can hold my own. And I was just standing there like, this dude's in the And One tour, and he is just destroying everyone. Oh my God, man. Oh, dude. John said, I got you. You said fair. Dude, yeah. I saw the who was the guard, the white dude, shorter, man, I cannot remember his damn name. Shorter white dude played guard. Anyways, I saw a thing on him the other day. Pat said he played. I was there. I didn't know him. You know what I mean? Like, I just happened to be at the gym. You know what I mean? And they needed a 10th, right? So
you're not talking about white chocolate, are you?
The professor. That's it. The professor. I saw a thing on YouTube, and I don't know how recent that it is, but he was doing an outreach program with prisons, right? And he would go in and he'd go out on the yard and play ball with them, right? And dude, it was awesome. Now, number one, like, it was funny seeing him like look up like, oh man, there's some dudes that can ball out here too. You know what I mean? But two, it was cool to see. And I don't know what the program was or anything like that, but it was cool. Like, they did it all for like for YouTube and whatever. And dude, it was cool, man. You can look it up. I wish I knew the name of it, but yeah, Escalade that was a big dude. That was a huge dude. Huge dude. All right. I don't know how I got off on the And One tour, but yeah, hot sauce. Yeah, there was, dude. There was a lot of them. Look up. I think it was Helicopter. He was a Nashville dude, I believe. But yeah, like, I didn't know him. I just happened to be there, and they're like, yeah, we need somebody who could pass. I didn't take a lot of shots. Let me say that. I wanted to go black hole on it, right? To where they're like, bro, if you shoot and miss one more three, I'm kicking your. All right, no, that's the NBA. Let me get the picks back up here for anybody jumped in late. They're like, dude, is this an And One tour show? All right, I'm on Jaylen Brown over 1.5 threes, -120. Jimmy Butler over 12.5 rebounds and assists, +100. Braves team total over 4.5. And then the Brewers and the Giants over 6.5 at -115. Brad, what you got?
Coming up in 2.5, just under 2.5 hours in Spain's La Liga, we're taking Celta Vigo, Villarreal, that over 2.75 Asian total at -125. That over 2.5 is available at -150. But I'd say I'd wait around. And if it drops a little bit, maybe you jump into that over 2.5. But if it does maybe look like it's going to kick up, drop in that over 2.75. I don't think it gets to a full 3. So you might have some time, but look for that over 2.5 if it drops.
There we go. There we go. Well done. Look, man. And look, this is why I love the show, man, because you never know where it's going to go, right? Roger, 6'2" shooting guard here. Double team trap is the only way to stop me. Play the federal pin here from time to time. There we go. Like, dude, and how was like those games? Like, I bet you look around because obviously, I mean, you could play, right? And you look around, you're like, oh man, there are some talent out here. You know what I mean? And like, that's what I loved about that series, that he did. And again, I can't remember the program that he was doing it with, but it was awesome, man. It was really cool. It was really well shot. It was well done. And yeah, there you go, dude. Yeah, absolutely, Roger. That's a good drop right there, man. That's a good drop indeed. Cheesy, man, so good to see you, buddy. So good to see you, man. We miss you. Look, hey, we're riding the Giants today. All right, riding the Giants, man. We're gonna get it right here. Okay, so that was the NBA. Take a look at here some Major League Baseball. Have a little fun with it. Now, really, only one game with weather that we need to be aware of. Brewers and the Giants. All right. Got 11.5 mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left center. Now, here's the deal, too, is that, and I'll pull this down here a little bit so we can see. Wind is great. Humidity is best. Right? Like, if you get both, like we had with the Braves and the Cardinals, like last night, dude, it's money in the bank. This is solid wind. Now, you take a look at the temperature, 56 degrees, feels like 50. So there's, no humidity out there. And again, man, we're playing out there in San Francisco. It's not like it's generally a super humid spot. But on the West Coast, man, like that's where the weather's been, in terms of, good hitting in regards to that. We've seen it in college baseball. We've seen it in Major League Baseball. So we'll see. But that's really the only game in regards to weather that we have to see and know about. So going off of that, all right, let's play our favorite game. Derek said Tatum's out. Peyton Pritchard, sneaky good play at plus money. There you go. See, that's why I love this, man. Derek, good look right there. Good look indeed. Right, something's off of that total if the wind is blowing. I know. I know. 6.5. I mean, don't be wrong. Pitching matchup solid, and the Giants are a better road team in terms of run production than they are at home. But yeah, solid. Roger said 6'5" jumpers every dude, and that's so hard to deal with too. So hard to deal with, man. It's tough because those dudes are right at the line of they're big, but they're also athletic too. It can go, man. And if anybody's got handles with that too, and that size, and you can hit jumpers consistently, brutal. I know. Brutal.
I mean, imagine trying to guard Kevin Durant. Like, how do you do that? How do you get the ball? He just goes straight up. There's nothing you can do.
No, there is. And like, there's nothing. And, we joke about like playing, like, can regular dudes like us play in a professional league? And now understand, right? Like, like you play that game, like you're looking, you're like, could I physically even be in this game? First off, no, right? Like that's the proper answer. You know what I mean? And then you look at across the sports and you're like, okay, how would I fit into this? You look at soccer and you're like, okay, I number one, I'd be out of gas in 2 minutes. It's like a fight outside of a bar. You think you think you're out there like you're Canelo, dude. 38 seconds into it, you both of you you're gassed, right? Like that's when you're just throwing. But you look at that, you look at the NFL, like you would be getting hit, but that like people can catch passes, right? Like you run a hitch route, I can catch it. I'm going to get demolished, but I can catch the ball.
Yeah.
Dude, you get in an NBA game, you're not getting a shot up. Unless you shoot from half court, you're not getting a shot up. Like,
I mean, you got to shoot like Steph. You got to shoot like Peyton Pritchard. Just
literally
pull up anywhere.
And what are you going to do on the other side? Dude, am I going to guard Kevin Durant hand up? Like,
hopefully
no,
get a
like,
charge. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I know. Roger said, no, I stood next to 7 foot and said, hell no. That's what I'm saying. I literally couldn't. I would have to shoot from half court because I'm not going to get a shot. I'm not going to get a rebound. I'm not like, dude, they're going to body check me. You know what I'm saying? Into the next county. Like, I know.
You're not going to be able to put the ball on the floor. They're going to just steal it from you as soon as you try to dribble.
Yes.
These guys are so fast and so quick.
Yes. Dude, you just be screwed, man. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. All right. What also is difficult is hitting a major league pitch. But these guys are pretty damn good. So here's who we have today, our top 5. Now, if anybody's new here, how we play, these are our top 5 guys that home run today. You could choose on the board. You can go off the board if you'd like. Drop them in the chat. Let us know who you have. All right. So Aaron Judge was 225. Marcell Ozuna of the Braves, 315. Juan Soto, 325. The Mets, Shohei Ohtani pictured there, plus 350. Mike Trout, plus 375. Bradley, I'll let you go first.
All right. Give me the most edible guy out there. The only food item. Give me Mike Trout. I like that. Plus 375. He's just sitting down there on the board. He needs to make a splash. It's time. It's Trout Day.
It's Trout time. That's your shirt right there. That's a good choice. Mike Trout's an excellent choice, man, for today.
Trout.
The Trout. I'm going to go Ozuna. I'm going Marcell Ozuna. I'm going to ride this Braves thing. All right. We're going to get it going here. I'm going Ozuna plus 315. Aaron Judge continues, bro, to get hits. And again, everybody take a look here. Drop them in the chat who you got. We'll go through it in 1 second who you have. Dude, take a look at this. All right. So our players' current hitting streaks, okay? Bobby Witt Jr. has got a hit in 14 straight games. 14 straight games. Jeremy Pena, 13 straight games. Tatis, we got it last night live in the 8th inning, 11 straight games. All right, Wagman, 10. Bryson Stott continues. Alec Baum continues there at 9. Goldschmidt was 7 straight games. Dylan Cruz, 7 straight games. Matty Olson, the Braves, 7 straight. Ellie De La Cruz, 7 straight. Keep going down the list. Cal Raleigh, 6 straight. Kyle Manzardo, 6 straight as well. Okay, so I said that to say, man, Marcell Ozuna, dude, he's not on this list, but your boy is just getting walk after walk and getting on base too in regards to getting hits and hit bombs as well. Andrew said, let's get this straight. Ozuna walk, Ozuna 2 bases, Ozuna over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, and Ozuna. It's Ozuna day. Now I say that and he goes 0 for 5, right? But yeah, dude. Kelly, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs versus opposing pitchers. I'm glad that you said that. Let's get into how we have our hitting historicals here. So we filter this by home runs, batter versus pitcher historical career. Brandon Lowe at the top, man, against Eduardo Rodriguez, 17 at bats, got 3 home runs there. Look at Juan Soto. All right. 51 at bats against Zach Wheeler. All right. 3 bombs, 13 hits. Eugenio Suarez against Taj Bradley. 5 at bats, 2 home runs. Not bad. Indeed, not bad. All right. As mentioned right there. All right. Well done, Dan Clark. All right. Look at him. Your boy Jared against your boy Miles. 5 at bats, 2 home runs, 3 hits. Your man's hitting 600 off of him. Matt Olson, same deal. All right. 12 at bats, 4 hits, 2 home runs. Yeah. Keep going down the list. Marcell Ozuna, 13 at bats, 5 hits, 2 home runs. All right. And he has 2 walks. Indeed. And Andrew White says, why the blue check marks? Those are verified that the player is playing today. So that's what the blue check marks are. Not only for you see, like you'll see, some guys get moved from the field to a DH position. Yeah, batting ice, absolutely. Yep, it's exactly what it is. Check marks confirmed starting today. Yep, absolutely, man. And that's Andrew. That's a good question, dude. Yep, absolutely good question, man. So, that's how we've got on home runs. Now let's flip it over here. All right, now we've inversed it. right, in regards to home runs, but doesn't mean fade them, right? Just a different way to look at it. Pete Alonso here against Zach Wheeler, 37 at bats. He's got 5 walks, 10 hits, 8 singles, 2 doubles. All right, Jose Ramirez against Rodon. All right, 48 at bats, 10 hits, 5 singles, 4 doubles. All right, and a triple. Ramirez hit solid career-wise. All right, keep you down the list. And you see, man, Starling Marte, see Nick Castellanos, Paul Goldschmidt. Look at this. We just mentioned Goldschmidt's on a 7-game hitting streak, okay? Against Ortiz, 7 at bats. I'll say 9 plate appearances, 2 walks, 7 at bats, 5 hits, 4 singles, and a double. Your man has 5 for 7 career-wise against Luis. Very solid there. And you can keep going down the list, man, and you can see that we've got a lot of dudes, all right? Have some decent, numbers in regards to sample size of at bats, plate appearances, etc. So there we go. That is a look there. Now, I bring it back. All right? Doesn't change your thoughts whatsoever, eh? Going Mike Trout?
I'm going to take Trout. Maybe I take that Carlos on Carlos crime for a hit. He looks like, honestly, it looks like Rodon could get lit up a little bit. There's a bunch of Indians there, or excuse me, Guardians there that can hit the ball.
Yeah. There you go. That was good.
Get sued again.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The NHL somehow that they've trademarked
NHL, MLB, they'll all come after us.
Yeah. MLB used to be really bad about social media. Like if you put up an MLB highlight, like just on Twitter, like if tonight you like Mike Trout hit a home run and you saw the clip on Twitter and you put the video up, right? Dude, MLB would come after you. Oh, dude, every time. It was so dumb. Oh my God, it was so dumb. The NBA was smart. I'll tell you this, where the NBA was smart about 8-9 years ago. The NBA because the NFL would sometimes come after you, but there's so many like that. It would be like trying to stop international soccer. There's so many people that it's just impossible. You know what I mean? Major League Baseball would take the time. The NBA was smart enough 8 or 9 years ago. They said, do it, please. We'll put the videos for you. Take all of them and put them on social media. It's good marketing. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe Major League Baseball. Like they've stepped back on that, but yeah. Yeah. All right. So those are our home runs. Buddy, I think that might be it of what we have today. Yeah, that is. Let's go through the picks one more time, and we'll get the Howie Schwab pick up. And again, we'll be live today at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna have more NBA because again, I didn't want to go through all of it because there could be some changes and there could be some things coming. So we'll go through some more props at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll also go through the NFL draft. We're going to start that today, and then we will hit the hell out of it tomorrow. And remember, it goes all weekend, right? Thursday there to Sunday. So we'll start that at 3 p.m. Eastern today. But our picks for today to start it out, Jaylen Brown over 1.5 threes for me, minus 120. Jimmy Butler over 12.5 rebounds and assists, plus 100. Braves team total over 4.5. And that Braves game starts pretty early, by the way, if anybody's playing anything in that game. And then the Brewers and the Giants over 6.5, minus 115. What you got, bro?
We're taking that 12 p.m. Central Time matchup in the Spanish-Spain La Liga between Celta Vigo and Villarreal. We're taking over 2.75. Asian total, minus 125.
Love the Asian total. Like, it seems like it's a really smart way to go about it, right?
It's something I had to learn from experience. So understanding that 2 goals and 3 goals and how correlated they are, and how if one team gets to that 3 goals, it tends to come from 2 to 1. And if it is 2 to 1, that's an unbalanced game. When you have an unbalanced game in soccer, football, that means one team is going to have to push. When one team pushes, it leaves them exposed. It leaves that other team to sit in deep. In either direction, that's momentum being pushed. So when it gets to that unbalanced score, you tend to see more scoring. And that's why a lot of times we go with that Asian total instead of taking that both teams are scoring over 2.5 goals, because both teams are scoring over 2.5. Very, very correlated.
Dude, can I hire you as the detail accountant as well? Like, You just got these numbers down. Now, all right, real quick. So, all right. Let me put the Howie Schwab play here. All right. The Celtics minus 10.5 is your winner at 35%. Second place was the Warriors plus 3.5 at 30%. So the crew has chosen Celtics minus 10.5 today. Now, all right, pull this down. This will be our final thought of the show, and I think it's important. Okay. So, boy Niner said, look, Ohtani fell off. Yes. Okay. So, first off, agreed, right? Like, but number two, he had a kid. Him and his wife had a child. All right. What? 5 days ago? So, there's no one better on planet Earth right now to explain, all right, how is Ohtani feeling? Right? What is our man going through?
My man's tired. I mean, he's exhausted. If he has any shred of fatherhood in him and he wants to be involved and doing anything at night or even during the day, I can tell you, he is tired from dealing with, he doesn't know. So, like that baby crying, then you have to figure out what is it? And then you constantly, it's a never ending game. There are little machines that I'm just learning that are just so much time involved in making sure this thing is living and breathing.
There we go. Okay, so that's good info. Now, let me ask you this. And everybody's different, and there might not be a correct answer. And I ask it, I am not a parent, do not have any kids, so I don't know. But it seems like that first week, I'm asking, I'm not declaring, right? Like, it feels like the first couple days or whatever is a blur. Like just a delirious blur. But I say that to ask you of this. Was there a moment like, let's just say the first 3 days, let's just say that. Like, I mean, you're talking 72 hours of like maybe 2 hours of like sleep. You can't even hit REM. Like it's just brutal, right? Did you reach a point to where you kind of felt better, like clarity started to come back in, and the answer might be no, you know what I mean, like until you actually got some decent sleep, right? Like how did that first week go? Like when did you start to kind of feel normal again? Was there anything that kind of triggered that?
So right now I still don't feel normal, to be quite honest.
Yep.
I used to be able to get a solid 5-6, maybe even 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep regularly.
Yeah.
And what that does is it gives you a nice, good mindset coming into the next day. You're not as groggy, not as delirious. You can really think clearly. But if you're continuously woken up throughout the night, you can't hit that REM. So then that next morning, you're just groggy. You're tired. You're a little more irritable, which is me personally. I get very irritable and very cranky. And my performance is just not there. I'm not firing on all cylinders. And if you think about a baseball player who's just, it's all timing, right? That ball's coming in literally at 100 miles per hour. You don't have time to think. So if you're not 100% mentally, and you have maybe just a millisecond slow with baseball, you're not going to be hitting those bombs. I mean, that could be what it is. But I also think that his off the field antics and issues this past summer are interfering with his mindset today. I don't know what it's like behind the scenes, but I would imagine that if you could have a pending lawsuit or something that you're involved in that could cause you some serious issues monetarily, that is going to affect your judgment and your timing on anything you're doing.
Great point. Great point. And we end it on this because I think Scott, and again, we don't have the answer, right, of when Shohei's going to, be Shohei again. But I think Scott is close. All right. And that's why I asked it. Might be better for him because he's on the road. Like not being at home. You know what I mean? Like you would constantly, be thinking about home, but you can actually say, thank God. Like I can get on the plane and sleep. I can get to this hotel. I don't give a damn about batting practice. I am sleeping. And I think that he said that to anyone on the Dodgers. They're like, do you, big dog? You know what I mean? Like, games at 5. We'll see you at 4:30. You know what I mean? Like, you don't worry about it. So
Has he pitched since then?
No.
No? Okay. That's going to be interesting to see as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Going to be interesting. Now, Jason said, took about 5 months for me as a guy for the wife. Never normal again. Like, being a mom would be hard. I know.
I have it easy in comparison. Yeah. I have it easy.
All right. That is Parenthood, brought to you by Driving the Line. We're going to go ahead and clip this and send it out to advertisers, and they're going to be all over it. Yeah. All right. Anyways, we'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern today. Brad, excellent job as always, my man. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a good day at work. Again, we'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern, breaking down everything for tonight and get you ready for the NFL draft tomorrow. But till then, best luck. Cash these tickets. We'll see you later this afternoon. Thanks. Who's got it better than us?